Hey guys, welcome to SpiritualiTEA. My name is Vanessa and I got a question for you. Are you ready for the relationship that you're seeking, the partner that you're seeking? Because that is a lot of the times why relationships fail, why relationships don't go past a certain amount of time. I know many people who have been in relationships, in a number of relationships that have all lasted for 1 to 2 years or a few months. And the reason for that is sometimes we ask for what we are not ready to receive. And even in asking for what you're not ready to receive, when you realize that it's something that you're not wanting or you're not ready for, you are required to reflect on that. When you acknowledge that you're not ready for it, sometimes we acknowledge that we're not ready for something, but we still continue seeking for it in another person. Self-evaluation after an unsuccessful relationship or is necessary. Sometimes we have to go back. We can't just always say, I want to get married and I want to have kids, and then you meet someone, it doesn't work out, maybe because they don't want to have kids, or maybe because for whatever reason. It's important that you reflect on why your relationships are not successful. Is what you're wanting something that is what you're wanting, something that you are not ready to receive? Do you have to work on yourself before you same thing with the whole wanting kids? Are you ready to be a parent? Do you have what it takes to think of yourself less and focus on another human being for the next 18 or even more years? I believe parenting is forever. Do you have what it takes to be a parent forever? Sometimes and we get into relationships, you have the child and then you break up because it's not what it's more than that. You have to be ready for what you're asking. It's very important that we take the time and ask ourselves those questions about relationships that we sometimes avoid. We just go sometimes by what we see around us. I want this, they have that, I want this, I think I deserve that. But are you ready to receive it? Are you ready to receive it? Is it something that you can actually handle? Is that a relationship that you can actually handle? I used to want a certain type of relationship. I used to want a house with lots of animals and kids and I never wanted kids, sorry. Lots of animals and a partner. And now I can't even handle one pet. I realized that having one pet is a lot. So I'm like, okay, one pet is enough. My partner has like 5 dogs. So together we'll have 6, And I'm like, I need to be ready for that, You have to take the time to think, reflect. Even speak to people who are in relationships with the with the characteristics that you're looking for. You can have conversations with them. I believe that if you're looking for something, right, single people will always be single. If you're hanging out with single people, you're most likely going to remain single for a while because they're going to be doing what single people do. You have to have something to inspire you, something to look up to, whether that person is a part of your life directly or not. Like, you can observe your parents' relationship, your aunt's relationship, ask them questions about it. Like, how did you guys know that this is what you wanted? That's why communication is so important in helping you figure out if you're ready for what you're asking for, if that's what you want. I have this friend who he was always looking for a partner. And then he wasn't finding one, and then he found one, and then they became so heavily involved. They ended up having assets together and stuff, not married or anything, just getting assets together. And then he realized that he doesn't want that anymore, and then they have now a loan taking care of the assets that they got together. It's issues because one of the assets is a house, and she doesn't want him to bring any girls in the house, and it's just a lot. And if we take the time to figure out if something is really for us, we sometimes skip steps. There are no actual steps. What I'm saying is, we ignore certain things about people that would give us a straightforward answer. We call it red flags. I don't think it's red flags. I just think it's just things that we should be aware of. Hints. Not red flags, but hints. I think red flag sounds very dangerous. But hints. People are always showing you who they are sometimes, but we see what we want to see. And we have to be more open-minded than that, especially when this is your whole life and your future. You're investing into a relationship. The possibility of your future, you're investing into a relationship. So take the time to know people, to know yourself. Ask the right questions, you know. Observe the person, observe how they are with their finances, their friends, their family, themselves, how they care and love for themselves, how they communicate, you know. All of these are telling factors in, you know, in deciding or contributing to your decision of, is that something is that a person I'm ready for? You know, is that can I have the life that I desire with that person? And even deeper, that person might actually make you reconsider that, or consider even deeper on about the life that you want. Is that a life I want? You know, I remember before COVID, everyone was talking about how they wanted kids and all of that, and I remember meeting up with a friend of mine who was like, don't have kids. And I'm like, I don't want kids. She said, I always wanted one and I don't want one anymore. I don't think this is a world in which we should raise kids. She said, I wish I thought about it deeper. I'm not happy being a mom at this point in my life. And I felt sad, because I felt really sad. I was like, wow, you really can't take that back. You can't just decide I don't want the kid anymore, and just, you can't, because you just wanted the kid, but you didn't think of all the things that came with the kid. Am I ready to be that? Am I ready to make those sacrifices? Or and I don't necessarily believe in the word sacrifices, because it sounds like sacrifice or compromise. I don't like these two words, because I feel like if you're doing something, you do it wholeheartedly. You don't feel like you're giving something up, or you're secretly unhappy about it in order to do that one thing. There should be no sacrifice. There should be just enjoying what you're doing, full investment emotionally and all the other leads in what you're doing. And in order to ensure that, you have to be honest with yourself. You can't just look at people's lives and decide, that's what I want. Observe, ask questions to them, ask questions to yourself. Is that something I'd be willing to do? Is that something I'm ready to do right now? You know, I have friends who are single, and they literally would just wake up one day and be like, I need to start dating. And I look at them and I'm like, you don't really have to like make a decision about things like that. I feel like it's a natural progression. I feel like my boyfriend always says that. It's a natural thing. And when you decide that you're ready, you don't need to announce it to the world. You don't. And say it to yourself. Just, I think I'm ready, Spirit, to be in the company of another person, and so I'm ready. That's all you have to say. You don't need to announce it. And most times when you do that, you just find yourself going, when you announce it like that, people just come at you that you really have no business, you know, being in a relationship with. It's okay to be ready to date. It's lovely to be ready to date. That doesn't mean that you should rush it. You need to be ready. Be ready. You don't just wake up and say you're ready. If you say that, why? Ask yourself, why do I think I'm ready to date? Is it because I'm lonely? Is it because I'm tired of taking care of myself? Is it because I feel like, you know, I need to have kids before it's too late? Am I rushing? Ask yourself these questions. It's so important that we take the time to ask ourselves these questions before getting into a relationship. Get to know yourself. Are you ready or not? Thank you so much for watching today. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Just felt like I'd give it a little twist. I'm gonna say again on this video, I started on my Embracing Expansion video. This is my last SpiritualiTEA video for the year 2024. We shall resume in January 2025, as this is usually a very busy time in December for musicians. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned. I will still be completing the chakra healing and balancing series, so stay tuned for that every Monday, 11 a.m.